Hey guys, OFD checking in here, and I wanted to just take a look at three little watches I picked up recently. Some vintage stuff, what I consider vintage. A lot of people might not consider these vintage watches, but I love Seikos, obviously. You guys watch my videos, you know I love Seikos, and I've got a couple modern Seiko 5 watches that I've picked up recently, and as a kid growing up, I really didn't even pay any attention to the Seiko 5s. I was kind of focused more on the standard Seiko line, but I've been looking around out there on the internet and on eBay and different forums and stuff like that, and you find these older Seiko 5s are not something that's really caught on right now as far as collectibles, and if they are, they're just not. They're just a certain group of people that are collecting them, and a lot of people just don't want to have anything to do with them. But I just, being a Seiko guy and somebody that loves Seikos, I'm just finding it really fun and intriguing. So I'm just going to take a really quick minute here and show you guys what I have picked up recently. So this first watch here, and I'll bring it up here and try to get the camera to focus. Come on. Okay, there we go. So this first watch I got here, guys, is a 6309-8930. This watch is from May of 1984. So, like I said, some people may not consider the 80s vintage, but I was only 14 years old when this watch came out, and those were the glory days, I think, back then. And so it's fun to remember and think back to then. So it is kind of vintage to me. So I fell in love with the case on this watch, the case style when I saw it. It's just very square and cool. I love everything about it, just the way it's designed. Typical Seiko, it's got so many different shapes and angles to the case design and stuff like this. Appears to be on a factory strap from what I can tell. This watch, I think, if I remember correctly, came from a thrift store, an online thrift store that I found it at. Looks like it came from maybe an estate sale or something like that. Back in the 80s and stuff like that and stuff, a lot of people were getting these as graduation gifts from school, college and high school, probably more high school and stuff like that. So a lot of these watches just maybe didn't get worn a whole lot or set aside, and they just kind of moved with people over the years, so didn't get a whole lot of wear and stuff like that. And it's an old 17 jewel Seiko movement. They're pretty doggone resilient, pretty hard to destroy, one of them. So this one's been kept in amazing shape. Loom still works just a little tiny bit on it, but not much at all. And this does have a day-date function there, as you guys can see at the 3 o'clock position. So this watch, you can get these at a song, guys. I think this watch was around $50, if not less. It was a real good deal, and that's with shipping and stuff like that. So very cool watch. I'm really, really happy with this one. This one runs at about 36 millimeters, and obviously, your thickness is, I don't think it's over 10 there. I'm not going to measure these watches, but I do know that the case is 36 on this one. So, and these have 18 millimeter lugs. I think it's 18 or 19, something like that. I'm not changing the strap on these anyways. So that's the first one I've recently picked up. This next one here, I fell in love with the dial. You guys, if you watch my channel, you know that I do like lighter dials on watches. So I really like this white dial, or this kind of silvery dial. But as you guys can see, I'm catching it there in the light. It has this ghost kind of rally stripe down the center of the dial. So cool. And then the indices at 6, 9, and 12 o'clock. See how they kind of have that texture to them? Kind of like, gosh, my camera is just being a bugger tonight. Okay, there we go. Sorry. But yeah, it's got that texture on those indices at those 3 positions. Then you've got the hands there. I really like that style of hands. I'm not exactly sure what you call that, but really neat, really cool. Again, a 17 jewel movement, a 7009 movement. I think they started using this movement back in like the 1970s, and it carried up into the early 90s. They were using this movement in certain watches. These watches all keep pretty doggone good time. I mean, they're all within like a minute a day at least, as far as being, older watches. So if I didn't say, this one is from June of 1984. So this is also a 1984 watch, which is pretty cool. It's neat that I have May of 1984 and June of 1984. So very good condition. The only problem with this one here is at the 10 o'clock, I do have a little It's a very fine crack there at the 10 o'clock position. So eventually I'll replace the crystal on this watch, but look at that. It's a really nice looking watch just the way it is. I wear this watch out and I enjoy it. I wear this out on Friday night recently. 2 Friday nights actually. And then this is the newest one that I just picked up, guys, and I'm really happy with this. This is a Seiko DX. So get the guy to focus. This is a super shiny little watch, so my camera doesn't want to work with me too much. So this one was running a 25 jewel movement in it from Seiko. They did offer these in different jewels, but the 25 jewel was kind of their top of the line, I think. So kind of, trying to compete with some of the higher end watches back in their day. Obviously, it's a Seiko 5, so it wasn't even coming close to the Omegas and, whatever else was out there. But amazing design here. Look at the dial in this watch. This is what's going to kill you guys. This watch, guys, is from June of 1967. Look how clean it is. It was advertised as new old stock. So what I think, it probably banged around a jewelry shop for a number of years. And then somebody saw that older Seikos are starting to sell online and stuff like that. So they busted it out and cleaned it up. And serviced it and sold it. And I got this for a great deal too. Now, it wasn't on its factory metal strap like the other two. It was on an aftermarket metal bracelet that it was a beads of rice bracelet that looked really neat on it, but it looked cheap and chintzy. So I had this Barton strap. This is an 18 millimeter lug opening on this one. So I had this Barton strap. This is their autumn Barton strap, and I put it on here. I have a few I've put on this one, and it looks really cool. But yeah, great watch. Just an absolute stunner to me. Now these two, like I said, the lume has a little bit of lume left, but this one doesn't have anything left. You can see where there's lume actually like kind of applied on the indices, but it doesn't have any glow to it left at all. Just too old for that. So yeah, so that's it. And here, I'll show you guys what I'm wearing on my wrist right now. I'm actually wearing, get that to focus. This is my 1974 Timex Viscount. An automatic Timex. I wear this every once in a while. It doesn't keep near as good time as the Seikos down there. I mean, it's a Timex, and so kind of like you get what you pay for. And it's interesting. This one is the same era as almost the same year, I think, as my Seamaster. My little Omega Seamaster is a 1960s variant, and so it's about the same year. And it's pretty interesting to compare those two watches because they have a lot of similarities in the design and stuff like that. So anyways, guys, thank you for tuning into the OFD channel. Thank you for letting me show you these little watches. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom, and take care.